Scratch a fascist and a liberal bleeds, as the saying goes. Liberals will often attack leftists for saying this, thinking that the meaning is that liberals and fascists are exactly the same in every single way. But that's not what the saying really means. I think what the saying is trying to get across is the way that liberals will gladly defend fascists from any attack from the left in order to preserve capitalism. And history has borne this out. Anyone claiming that vote blue no matter who will save us from fascism, I have to ask you a couple questions. First, if the Democrats are so dedicated to democracy, why is it overseas they're perfectly willing to overthrow even vaguely leftist governments by any means necessary? Second, why is it they attack democracy here, even when it doesn't benefit them? For example, gerrymandering and preventing other parties from having ballot access, and Citizens United. These things don't benefit the Democrats. These are some of the things that have made it really hard for the Democrats to get elected, because corporations they'll fund Democrats as they are a corporate party, a pro-corporate party, but they're going to fund Republicans more, because at the end of the day, Republicans are going to be a lot more willing to undo all regulations and completely pull out all the stops to help corporations. And given Democrats will do that too, but Republicans do it a little more enthusiastically. And gerrymandering has helped keep a couple districts safe, but it's a big reason why Republicans have to get a lot less votes just to get a majority. And at the same time, as far as ballot access, the Libertarian Party is the third party that gets the most votes, and especially where they stand now, they're a bigger threat to the Republicans than the Democrats. So the Democrats have consistently attacked democracy. They weren't able to protect the Voting Rights Act. They've done nothing to stop all the attacks the Republicans have made on our democracy, even the ones that hurt the Democrats, they haven't stopped. So where is this dedication to democracy? So only now is Joe Biden talking about all the things that he's going to do to protect democracy against Project 2025. And I guarantee you he knew all about Project 2025, likely long before we did. And he did nothing to stop it, and nothing to stop the rise of the far right. In fact, he has consistently been one of the most conservative Democrats. And that has been the strategy of the Democrats. I have to ask you, where did you expect this to end up? So we have things like Citizens United and all the changes to elections that benefit the Republicans. And then the Democrats take on a strategy where they are going to appeal to conservative voters, as far as like moderate Republicans. So the Democrats are going to the right, and the Republicans are going way to the right. And we have a two-party system. So where do we end up with such a strategy exactly? Well, you're seeing it right now. So what did they expect? And what do you expect them to do now? They're going to keep up with that strategy. They're obviously not moving to the left, and they have no intention to. And the thing is, they do this despite the policies that they reject on the left being very popular. And you see it now. Biden's desperate, so he's throwing things out there that people actually like, because he has to, even though, I mean, if he really cared about democracy, he would step down and allow someone. I mean, even if he believes he's completely competent and can get through another 4 years, the polling doesn't lie. Almost anyone else does better than him, so why on earth wouldn't he step down? I honestly don't have an answer to that. I do not know why he won't step down, but the point is, I don't know why anyone would trust the Democrats with this task. They have consistently shown, my entire life at least, and I would wager long before I was born, that is not what they value. And no matter what promises they make, they are a neoliberal party that would much rather have fascism than even the most basic, limited form of socialism. And right now we see a time where capitalism is in crisis and populism is going to be a very effective way to gain public support, and they are not willing to go with left populism. We've seen that. I do believe that Bernie would have beat Trump. Bernie is not a socialist, but his policies were a lot more popular. He was a lot more popular. But the Democrats couldn't allow that, and they never will. At most, you're going to get a vaguely center-right party, and that's just not going to win elections. So where are we at? I don't see why anyone would support the Democratic Party right now. I know Trump is incredibly frightening. He is more frightening than you can imagine to actual anti-fascists. One thing I will say, though, is anti-fascists, at least anti-fascists, like very active leaders on the movement, don't actually worry all that much about a fascist dictator taking power, because we usually don't live that long to see that. So I guess in closing, I'll just say, if you do trust the Democrats to be the bulwark against fascism, despite never doing that before and actually enabling the fascists to get this far, and being so proud of how often they reach across the aisle to work with those fascists, and how bipartisan they are with those fascists, I also have to ask, do you still trust them as much as you trust them to preserve peace, despite supporting the military-industrial complex and maintaining imperialism, and to protect our civil rights, but despite not doing anything to stop the NSA or the Patriot Act or any of the countless attacks on our civil liberties we've seen, just even recently and also in the last couple decades? Do you trust them to protect unions and the environment and affordable health care and education and any of the reproductive rights, any of the things they claim as policy and campaign on, but never actually take action to protect unless they're forced? So, I mean, if you do trust them, I guess I'd ask how you're going to force them to do this, because it seems like having not only to fight fascists, but to organize to force one party to fight fascists is a lot more work than just fighting fascism. If any of this resonates with you, I would suggest joining an organization, because we are much more powerful when we work together. I am a fan of the Socialist Party USA. It's a multi-tendency grassroots organization. And we are having our National Organizing Conference next weekend, so I would suggest checking that out. You could also check out the Stodin-Chilinsky 2024 campaign at spusa2024.org. But I just want to give a message of hope that things could be worse. I do believe they will get better, but not unless we put the work in and keep fighting. But if we do that, we will win.